Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. The Junior Civil Judge Prelims exam is an entry-level exam for candidates who want to become civil judges in India. It is conducted by various state public service commissions or high courts of the respective states. The exam usually consists of multiple choice questions that test the candidate's knowledge of various topics such as criminal laws, which are Criminal Procedure Code, Indian Penal Code, Indian Evidence Act, Negotiable Instrument Act, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence, Excise Act, Gaming Act, Juvenile Justice Act, Criminal Rules of Practice, so on, and civil laws, Civil Procedure Code, Indian Contract Act, Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, Indian Easement Act, Specific Relief Act, Limitation Act, Transfer of Property Act, Civil Rules of Practice, Registration Act, Stamp Act. The exam is generally of a duration of 2 hours and consists of 100 objective type questions. The syllabus for the exam may vary slightly depending on the state in which the exam is being conducted. Candidates who clear the prelims exam will be eligible to appear for the mains exam, which is a descriptive type exam. Those who clear the mains exam will be called for a personal interview. The selection process for junior civil judge includes prelims, mains and interview. The final selection is based on the candidate's performance in all the stages of the selection process. Based on these topics, questions were asked in JCJ prelims exam conducted on 7/1/2023. Screening test for civil judges. Now I will read out the questions and answers that were asked in the January 7th, 2023 JCJ prelims. First question. There are 100 questions MCQs. I will read out one by one. First question is, A agrees to transfer 1 lakh rupees to his nephew B if he deserts his wife. With reference to section 25 of Transfer of Property Act 1882, the transfer is void. Second, as per Rule 18 of Rules of Criminal Procedure 1990, the summons to a government analyst in a food adulteration case shall be sent through the Chief Judicial Magistrate. As per Section 22A of Indian Evidence Act 1872, oral admission as to contents of electronic record are not relevant unless the genuineness of electronic record produced is in question. Fourth question. As per Transfer of Property 1882, where with consent expressed or implied of person interest in an immovable property, a person is ostensible owner of such property and transfers same for consideration, the transfer shall dash on ground that transferor was not authorized to make it. Answer is not be voidable. Question 5. With reference to Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, in which of the cases given below the Supreme Court make following observations? The fact that details in check have been filled up not by drawers but by some other person would be immaterial. The presumption which arises and signing of check cannot be rebutted merely on report of handwriting expert. Answer is Oriental Bank of Commerce versus Prabodh Kumar Tiwar. Sixth question. Under which section of NI Act 1881 amended are the rules as to compensation payable in case of dishonor of promissory note, bill of exchange or check by any party liable to holder or any endorsee determined? Answer is Section 117. 7. As per Section 6 of Transfer of Property Act 1882, which of the following cannot be transferred? Merely right to sue. It cannot be transferred. Question number 8. An assessment made under Section 3, read with Section 4 of AP Land Encroachment Act 1905 is conclusive. 9. As per Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, if respondent commits breach of protection order, he shall be punished with imprisonment up to dash or with fine of dash or with both, with imprisonment up to 1 year, fine of 20,000 rupees. 10th question. With reference to Section 12 of Protection of Women from Domestic Violence 2005, a magistrate shall fix the date of hearing which shall not ordinarily be dashed from date of receipt of application by court beyond 3 days. 11. Section 326A as inserted to IPC vide the Criminal Law Amended Act 2013 deals with offence of? Answer is acid attack. Question number 12. In which of the following sections of Hindu Marriage Act 1955 have conditions for a Hindu marriage been laid down? Section 5. 13th question. As per Rule 30 of AP Civil Rules of Practice, every wakalat shall, unless otherwise ordered by court, be in form number 12. 14th question. With reference to Section 56 of CPC 1908, complete the following provision with correct option from those given below. Notwithstanding anything in this part, the court shall not order the arrest or detention in civil prison of women in execution of, answer is, a decree for payment of money. 15th question. In which of the following leading cases did Lord Atkin hold a contract cannot be enforceable by nature if parties to same do not intend to create a legal relationship? Balfour versus Balfour. 16th question. As per Indian Registration Act 1908, which of the following documents can be registered optionally? Answer is instruments which operate to create, declare, assign, limit or extinguish any right, title or interest in movable property, which are other than wills. 17th question. According to section 141 of IPC 1860, for constitution of unlawful assembly, minimum number of persons required 5. Question number 18. As per section 468 of CRPC 1973, if the offence is punishable with imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 year, the period of limitation for taking cognizance shall be 1 year from date of offence. Question number 19. As per Protection of Women from Domestic Violence 2005, the copies of any order passed by magistrate shall be given to parties at free of cost. Question number 20. With reference to Protection of Women from Domestic Violence 2005, read the following statements and select the correct option from those given below. First one. Prohibition or restriction to continue access to resource or facilitate which the aggrieved person is entitled to use by virtue of domestic relationship would amount to domestic violence. 2. Humiliation with regard to not having a male child or a child doesn't amount to domestic violence. Answer is statement 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. Question number 21. Select the correct statement with reference to Specific Relief Act 1963. Answer is preventive relief is granted at discretion of the court. 22 question. According to section 54 of Transfer of Property Act 1882, sale is a transfer of ownership. Answer is in exchange for price paid or promised or part paid and part promised. 23rd question. According to section 143 of Indian Evidence Act 1872, leading questions may be asked in cross-examination. 24th question. As per Rule 8 of Rules of Criminal Procedure 1990, the summons to accused person shall be signed by the magistrate. 25. With reference to Transfer of Property Act 1882, in which case did court firmly laid down the principle of once a mortgage, always a mortgage? No. Answer is Noakes and Company versus Rice. Question number 26. Which section of the Indian Evidence Act 1872 states the improper admission or rejection of evidence shall not be ground itself for a new trial or reversal of any decision in any case? Section 167. 27th question. With reference to IPC 1860, read following illustration and select the correct option to fill blank. A places men with firearms at outlet of a building and tells Jed that they will fire at Jed if Jed attempts to leave building. A is guilty of offence of, answer is wrongful confinement of Jed. Question 28. As per section 56 of AP Excise Act 1968, notwithstanding anything contained in CRPC 1973, all offences under Act shall be cognizable. Question number 29. According to section 2C of Indian Contract Act 1872, every dash and every dash forming consideration for each other is an agreement, promise and set of promises. 30th question. Power to commute sentence under 433 of CRPC 1973 lies with the, answer is appropriate government. 31st question. Which section of AP Gaming Act 1974 makes provision for making payment of portion of fine to the informant? Section 14. Question number 32. With reference to the IPC 1860, which of the following sections of IPC did the Supreme Court strike down in case of Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India? It is section 377. 33. As per AP Civil Rules of Practice 1990, every pleading or other document filed in court shall bear the date on which a signature of party is affixed, the date of presentation and date of filing in the court. Question number 34. Section 17A of AP Land Encroachment Act deals with encroachment by group of persons on a government land and their eviction. 35. As per Section 20C of Specific Relief Act 1963, a suit filed under provisions of this Act shall be disposed of by court within a period of 12 months from date of service of summons to defendant. Question number 36. The provision for health and safety of arrested person was inserted in the Code of Criminal Procedure by number section 55A in the year 2008. 37th question. As per AP Gaming Act 1974, offence under Act are cognizable and non-bailable. Question number 38. As per Section 142 of Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, no court shall take cognizance of any offence punishable under Section 138 except upon complaint in writing made by payee or case may be holder in due course. 39th question. As per Section 2D of CRPC, complaint means any allegation made orally or in writing to dash with a view to his taking action under code that some person, whether known or unknown, has committed an offence but doesn't include a police report. Writing to a magistrate. Answer is magistrate. Question number 40. Which chapter of CRPC deals with information to police and their powers to investigate? Chapter 12. 41 question. Section 45A of Indian Evidence Act 1872 deals with opinion of examiner of electronic evidence. Question number 42. According to Section 15 of CPC 1908, every suit shall be instituted in lowest court competent to try it. Question number 43. In case of Joseph Shiny vs. Union of India 2018, Supreme Court, which section of IPC did the Supreme Court strike down? Section 497. 44. Which chapter of Juvenile Justice Act deals with the Child Welfare Committee? Chapter 5. 45th question. With reference to Indian Evidence Act 1872, read following statements and select the correct option. Oral evidence must in all cases be direct. Second one. In criminal proceedings, the fact that person accused is a good character is relevant. Both statements 1 and 2 are correct. Question number 46. According to Section 11 of Indian Contract Act 1872, every person is competent to contract who is age of majority according to law to which he is subject and who is of sound mind and is dashed from contracting by any law to which he is subject. Answer is not disqualified. 47. With reference to Section 38 of CPC 1908, a decree may be executed by court which passes it or by court to which it sent for execution. Question number 48. According to Section 155 of Indian Evidence Act 1872, the creditworthiness of witness may be impeached by adverse party or with consent of the court by party who calls it. 49 question. Which section of Hindu Succession Act 1956 states a person who commits murder or abets the commission of murder shall be disqualified from inheriting the property of person murdered? Section 25. 50th question. With reference to Section 133 of Indian Evidence Act 1872, read following provision and select the correct option to fill the blank. An accomplice shall dash against an accused person. Answer is shall be a competent witness. An accomplice shall be a competent witness against an accused person. That is the statement. 51. According to Section 303 of CRPC 1973, any person accused of an offence before a criminal court or against whom proceedings are instituted under this code may of right be defended by a pleader of his choice. 52. With reference to Transfer of Property Act 1882, select the correct pairing of sections with their subjects. Section 67 states right to foreclosure or sale. Section 68 states right to sue for mortgage money. 53rd question. A, who has been suffering from COVID infection, has deliberately contacted B and C, and this has caused COVID infection to B and C. Also, under which section of IPC 1860 is A liable to be punished? Under Section 269. 54th. The provision relating to res judicata has been mentioned in dash of the Code of Civil Procedure, Section 11. 55th. Which section of CRPC 1973 states the state government shall establish a police control room in every district? Section 41C. 56th question. Provisions of Section 6 of Limitation Act 1963 deal with legal disability. 57. According to Section 23 of Indian Registration Act 1908, a document other than will shall not be accepted for registration unless presented for that purpose to the police officer within dash from the date of execution, 4 months. 58th question. With reference to rule of CRPC 1990, select the correct pairing of rules with their subjects. Rule 34, Identification Parade. 59. Section 14 of Hindu Succession Act 1956 deal with property of female Hindu to be her absolute property. 60th question. The new provision for connected pleading has been provided in dash of AP Civil Rules of Practice 1990. Rule 25. 61st. In the case of Mitu vs. State of Punjab 1983, which of the following sections of IPC did the Supreme Court strike down as unconstitutional and violative of the right of life and liberty? Section 303. 62nd question. Which section of Indian Evidence Act 1872 states the court may forbid any question or enquiry which it regards as indecent or scandalous? Section 151. 63rd. As per Indian Evidence Act 1872, a statement, oral or documentary, or contained in electronic form which suggests any inference as to any fact in issue or relevant fact and which is made by any person is called an admission. 64. As per AP Civil Rules of Practice 1990, an application in court in any suit, appeal, or proceedings already instituted in such a court, other than proceedings for execution of decree or order, is termed as interlocutory application. 65th question. With reference to Hindu Marriage Act 1955, the Supreme Court judgment in case of Amardeep Singh vs. Harvind Kaur is related to divorce by mutual consent. 66th question. According to Section 3 of Hindu Succession Act 1956, if two persons are related by blood or adoption but not wholly through males, they are said to be cognates. 67th. Section 35B of CPC 1908 deals with cost for causing delay. 68th. With reference to Section 5 of Indian Easement Act 1882, the right of way of annexed to A's house over B's land is called discontinuous easement. 69th question. Duties and functions of protection officer under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 have been laid down under Section 9. 70th. Section 10 of Specific Relief Act 1963 states the specific performance of a contract shall be enforced by court subject to provisions contained in Sections 11 of 2, 14 and 16. 71. As per Schedule of Limitation Act 1963, the period of limitation for enforcement of a right of preemption, whether right is founded on law or general usages or on specific contract or on special contract, is dashed beginning where the subject matter of sale doesn't admit of physical possession of whole or part of property. 1 year. 72nd. As per the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, every offence punishable under Act is compoundable. 73rd. A sells by auction to B a horse which A knows to be of unsound mind. A says nothing to B about horse's unsound mind. As per Section 7 of Indian Contract Act 1872, this is not a fraud on part of A. 74th question. According to Juvenile Justice Act 2015, the term best interest of child means basis for any decision taken regarding the child to ensure fulfillment of answer is basic rights, needs, social well-being and physical, emotional and intellectual development. 75th. Which rule among AP Civil Rules of Practice 1990 deals with provision for leave to sue? Rule 15. 76th question. Sections from 171A to 171H of IPC 1860 deal with offences relating to elections. 77. Rule 296 of AP Civil Rules of Practice 1990 deal with notice to be issued by caveator. 78th. With reference to Hindu Marriage Act 1955, read the following statements and select the correct option. First one. If a marriage has not been consummated owing to impotency of respondent, the petitioner can get marriage declared as nullity. Second one. If either party to marriage has a spouse living at the time of marriage, such marriage is void. Answer is both the statements 1 and 2 are correct. 79th. According to IPC 1860, nothing is an offence which is done by a child dash who hasn't attained sufficient maturity of understanding to judge the nature and consequence of his conduct on the occasion. Answer is above 7 years of age and under 12. 80th. According to Indian Registration Act 1908, which among the following shall appoint Inspector General of Registration, State Government? 81. The Hindu Succession Act 1956 is not applicable to the Parsis. 82. According to Rule 27 of Rules of Criminal Procedure 1990, whenever a magistrate remands an accused to custody of police under Section 167 of CRPC, a copy of order of remand with reasons regarded therefore shall be forwarded dash to dash within 24 hours to the sessions judge. 83rd question. In which section of Indian Easement Act 1882 have provisions for easement of necessity and quasi-easement have been laid down? Under section 13. 84th. Which chapter of Indian Evidence Act 1872 deals with the burden of proof? Chapter 7. 85th question. With reference to Indian Evidence Act 1872, the leading case Narayan Dutt Twari vs. Rohit Shekhar was related to the DNA test. 86. In which of the following sections of Indian Evidence Act 1872 have facts of which the court must take judicial notice been enumerated? Section 57. 87th question. As per Section 26 of Indian Evidence Act 1872, no confession made by any person whilst he is in the custody of police officer dash shall be proved as against such person unless it is made in immediate presence of a magistrate. 88th. As per Section 143 of Negotiable Instruments Act 1881, offence under Act shall be tried summarily. 89th. As per AP Gaming Act 1974, any person who opens, keeps, operates, uses or permits to be used any common gaming house shall be punished with imprisonment 1 year, fine 5,000 for first offence. 90th. With reference to CRPC 1973, read the following statements and select the correct option from this given below. First one, charge shall be written in language of court. Second, a court cannot alter or add any charge at the time before judgment is pronounced. Statement 1 is correct but 2 is incorrect. 91. Disclosure of identity of victim of certain offences have been made punishable under dash of IPC 1860, section 228A. 92. With reference to Transfer of Property Act 1882, read following statements and select the correct option from below. First one, if ulterior disposition is not valid, the prior disposition is not affected by it. Second one, an easement cannot be transferred apart from dominant heritage. Answer is both statements 1 and 2 are correct. 93rd. A promise for no consideration to give rupees 10,000 to B as per Section 25 of Indian Contract Act 1872. This is an void contract. 94. As per Code of Criminal Procedure, who among the following can grant anticipatory bail? It was given that High Court or Court of Sessions, but the actual answer is Chief Judicial Magistrate. 95. According to Section 201 of AP Excise Act 1968, it Act includes all liquor produced or manufactured in India and supplied by the government other than? Answer is foreign liquor and Indian made foreign liquor. 96th question. With reference to Rules of Criminal Procedure 1990, read the following and select the correct option from those given below. First one, abbreviation shall not be used in judgment and orders. Second one, police officers shall not as a rule be employed to interpret the evidence witness in cases prosecution by him. Both statements 1 and 2 are correct. 97th question. Chapter 16 of AP Civil Rules of Practice 1990 deals with proceedings in execution. 98th question. In case of Chanmunia vs. Virendra Kumar Singh Kushwaha, the Supreme Court held a woman who is living in live-in relationship is also entitled to maintenance under Section 125 of CRPC 1973. 99th question. Which of the following relations is not included in Class 1 heirs as per schedule of the Hindu Succession Act 1956? Answer is brother. 100th question and the last one. Which provision of Transfer of Property Act 1882 deals with oral transfer? Section 9. So these are the 100 questions from the JCJ prelims that was conducted in January 2023. Thanks for watching.